everybody, how's it going? I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo, and on this episode of Anime Reaction, we watched the 12th
and final
episode of this season of Drifters. If you want to check out our reaction to the 12th and final episode of Drifters, hit that link in the description below.
And be sure to give us feedback in the comments section because we love hearing from you.
And as always, if you like what you see, subscribe to Otaku Saga. Don't forget to like and share our videos.
And thanks for watching. So, on this episode of Drifters, we have the showdown between, I forget that guy's name.
No, he's from the Shinsengumi.
Yeah, the guy from the Shinsengumi, and Toyohisa. Basically, he commands his troops to fall back and then sneak through the city
and try to take the capital.
The capital. And Nobunaga realizes it because the retreat was a little too perfect.
Everything too well timed, and there's a real method to their madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nobunaga decides that he is going to retreat from the Capitol building and post up outside
and also set it up with barrels of oil.
Set us up the bomb.
For great justice.
For great justice.
For great explosion.
But,
all thanks to freaking...
To CPO.
It's
Hannibal.
Oh, Hannibal, right.
Because Hannibal was in it. I think he's like semi-lucid. So I think he was actually talking about the battle.
Yeah.
He just, in his, his state, he kind of framed it funny.
Yeah.
I can totally relate.
Instead of, going out to the berries and stomping on them, going out to these berries and stomping on them, gather them all together and stomp them all at once.
Yep.
It's easier done that way.
Yep.
And Nobunaga picks up what Hannibal was putting down.
More or less, yeah.
The wheels turn and then the plan.
The one thing I do want to say is Ominu is the worst fucking radio operator ever.
I know, right? Holy shit.
No, the enemy. Fucking spit it out, bitch.
Use your words.
Calm down.
It is much easier, or it is much quicker if you calm down and then say what you need to say, rather than trying to yell it or, stopping yourself because you just can't believe it.
It's a hard thing to do, I know, and a lot of people under pressure end up snapping like that and panicking. I can completely understand Omine's problem there.
They had to keep her in character. She's always a nervous wreck.
But yeah, it's just radio etiquette is very important if you want to be understood over the radio.
Indeed. But truth be told, I don't think radio etiquette was really discovered back then.
True-ish.
True, but I mean, I'm sure probably somebody after the battle went, by the way, you sucked at that because I couldn't really tell what you were saying.
Maybe they would have gotten it if that Vietnam guy from the first episode came in and showed them how it's done.
Animal mother?
Animal mother. Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
But yeah, for most of the episode, Toyohisa was dueling against the Shinsengumi guy.
I don't think he's listed in our reference sheet, is he?
It's not.
Yeah.
But
interestingly enough, the Shinsengumi samurai was a smoke ancestral mancer, something like that.
Yeah, he was able to kind of conjure up smoke apparitions of his fallen comrades.
Yep.
So.
Which is pretty interesting.
Yep.
I like the idea of smoke mancy. In fact, in one of my D&D stories, the main antagonist was a smoke mancer. Love the idea. You can do so many things with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The player who played the antagonist was horrible with it. And by horrible, I mean brutally mean with it. But anyway,
it's a really awesome power.
It really is, and you see it in this one, and to the point where Toya actually drops his smile for a few minutes.
But I gotta say though, before that smile fade happens, it was just it's just a master troll, just out of nowhere.
And then
just everything to
everything to get under that guy's skin.
And it worked.
To perfection. The guy basically ignores the rest of the battle just to try to kill Toyihisa because he has something against the Shimazu clan.
Yep.
And yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on the kind of history there, but he does mention Setsuma, where the Shimazu clan are from, and I do know that was a site of a really big battle in the Meiji period. Kind of as, the samurai rank were starting to lose sway. So I think it might have something to do with it. I'll have to do some more research on that battle and the Shinsengumi actually as a whole, for it to make sense.
Yep.
We also finally get to see the Elder Dwarves blunderbuss.
Oh,
It's
in glorious fashion.
It's less a blunderbuss and more like the junk jet from Fallout. It just, when that thing fires, oh man.
It's
That's
a blunderbuss. I mean, when you really think about it,
It's a giant barrel that you shove with gunpowder and then put in
shrapnel.
Whatever.
Yeah, I just made the junk jet comparison because they literally did put in whatever.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
But that's what a blunderbuss did. And it had such a wide opening because they wanted you to be able to fit all the things that you possibly could inside there.
Really, motherfucker?
Anyway, but because of that, obviously there's no rifling, there's no trajectory placement at all. So when that thing fires off, it
goes
everywhere.
And Toyihisa just
Zero fucks given.
Stands there,
And
takes
just
the
takes
shrapnel, and while
and watches all the smoke ghosts just disappear in front of him. And then goes in and starts beating the Shinsengumi guy's ass.
But actually, one of the things that really got me right after that, a couple of the smoke ghosts just pop right back up and go with the elder dwarf. Oh, Domo.
Domo.
What? Just out of fucking
I think
nowhere.
it was kind of a similar thing to what the dwarf had just said, where he's like, "Oh, I can't even cover because you're so close to each other."
Yeah.
So I think
the
it was
other
kind of
guy's
the
like-
same thing.
yeah,
Well, so what? Take 5?
Take 5, everybody.
Smoke them if you got them.
Yeah.
Unintentional, by the way.
But so we get an awesome fist fight between the Shinsengumi guy and Toyihisa.
Oh my god. just fucking back and forth, just like kids on a playground, just brutal.
Until the Black King finally orders the Shinsengumi guy to leave.
Because as it turns out, this was just a test battle.
test war.
Test war.
And I don't think it was actually more of a test war. It was a... So, strategically, this has crippled Orte,
Right.
right?
Well, technically, Orte would be crippled anyway.
It was
But
a weak state, but yeah. I mean, the capital's been...
well, they were about
mostly
to be
destroyed.
taken over by the Drifters anyway.
Yeah.
But the city itself is now crippled. It's
Mostly burnt down.
burning to ashes. They might have some homes left over. Doubtful. No capital building. Not sure what other else is standing. You're talking about possibly years of supplies that went gone.
Yeah,
That went up in smoke.
I mean, yeah, all the supplies, all the resources they had, just burnt to crisp.
I mean, it might have been an unintentional side effect of this raid, but yeah.
It definitely works well for the ends.
Yeah.
But the main objective scene is, what the Drifter commanders are capable
Yeah. Well, so I think as far as the whole test war thing, I think that's just the way that the Black King wanted to frame it so that it didn't seem like such a failure.
Mm-hmm. But the majority of the Black King's troops that showed up are not going home.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that pretty much all of them died.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Worth it though. I mean, the Black King definitely thinks more in the long term when it comes to strategy.
Yeah, if I had to say though, this episode didn't really feel like a final episode.
Not at all.
But I think that's in its favor because the series isn't necessarily trying to follow the whole, standard mid-season climax and then a little downtime and then a final climax. It's following what the manga did.
And it's actually following kind of what Hellsing did in its original form. Slow down, world build, action, world build, action, world build, action, just all
So yeah, it's less trying to build towards a, two climaxes in a season rather than, but yeah, it's rather, just following whatever the manga does, where it has some world building, they'll have some action, then some world building, then some action. But I think that's a point in its favor. And to be honest, for this series, the only complaints that I actually had for this particular season is how many characters we get introduced to and how little they actually matter to the story at this point.
That is true, but again, I mean, it kind of sets the pieces there.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
And that's one thing I actually really loved about this episode, especially at the end. Just how ballsy the staff are. They're basically calling their shot. They're saying, we are getting a second season. There's nothing you can do about it. We have the characters in place. We're going to give you a preview of episode 13.
It actually did say second season coming. They don't have a solid date for it yet.
Yeah, but it's coming.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say ballsy. They probably knew that they were going to get it in the first place. So
I don't know. That's kind of how it felt to me, because usually you don't see a good load of anime kind of go for like a more open-ended ending in case. They're just calling it right now. At least that's the feeling I get from it, and that's why I love it.
Again, I don't feel that it's so much calling it. It's they announced that they're making a second season. I don't feel that there's anything ballsy about it. It's just that's what's happening.
It might be one of those things where it's ready when it's ready.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not. They haven't slated details quite yet.
Oh yeah. Sorry. As I was saying, I feel that having all the characters feels like a detriment in this particular season because we didn't have enough time with everybody. But when it comes down to it, it's following the manga, so it introduces the characters as the manga did. So they will become relevant later.
Right.
And I know that. Well, haven't read the manga that far, but I feel that they're going to become more relevant later. So that's why I can't necessarily take points off for that, because it is literally just following the manga. So it's a really fantastic adaptation. It's just a shame that it's so short right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as we finish off our recap here, at the very end, we get the Shinzengumi leaves battle shamefully.
Yeah, and then we see a scene where Rasputin is apologizing to the Black King. Black King's like, oh, it's not so bad. We crippled Orte. Yeah. It's more like a test battle. And then he addresses another character that apparently has shown up. And as it turns out, it is Nobunaga's old enemy.
Mitsuhide.
Yeah. Akechi Mitsuhide. So
Fun for next season.
Can't wait.
Cannot wait.
But we also got flashes of where Kano is.
Still,
Still
kinda
with the
kicking
wolf
it with
people.
with the Klebolds.
We get a flash of where Aono.
Abe no Seme.
Abe no Haru Akira.
Yeah.
And along with him, he still has
Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid.
Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, and also has the other.
All the other October's like admins or mages.
No, the old guy. I forgot his name. He's the only guy I don't remember.
CPO.
CPO. Yes.
But I thought they were searching for.
No, they're
CPO.
looking for CPO.
Yeah, they're looking for CPO.
CPO ran
lost,
into Kano.
right?
He's with
Right.
Kano.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we get a flash over to a pirate ship.
Yeah, well, we see a meeting between two pirates,
And
or two
the
pirate captains, and the captain of the aircraft carrier. So,
looks like they're negotiating something. An alliance, perhaps.
indeed.
Barbary Coast pirates meet the Imperial Japanese Navy.
But this is basically setting up all the pieces so that you basically remember that all these pieces are still there.
Yeah.
And all these pieces are still relevant, and we will get back to them.
Yep, and they're going to get right back into it when they get to it. When they make that episode 13.
Yeah, and then it wasn't really clear on what episode 13 would be, if it would be the first episode of the second season, or perhaps count the OVAs as real episodes, which other series have done. So I guess we'll see in the future.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, but they still call episode 13 Rewrite. Think on it what you will, I guess.
I want to point out one other small detail. The battle between the Shinzengumi guy and Toyohisa. Toyohisa's blade broke.
Oh yeah, and as I pointed out, it did make sense because the Shinsengumi guy should have. I don't know exactly when he's from, but I would guess sometime in the 1800s.
I think
In
the mid to late 1800s.
So his steel should be better than Toyohisa's.
Even in the slightest, it should be better.
Yeah, forging techniques should be a lot more advanced.
I think it might actually be less of the forging techniques because they still kind of do it the same way to make katana, but I think it's more the mining techniques too. You get less crap in with your metal.
Well, I was where I was going with that is it's a lot easier to drive out impurities while you're striking iron with a steam hammer than by hand.
That is true. That might be true.
So
Anyway, yeah, his metal should be better.
But he does have a side blade. However, this is a detail that I want to keep in mind when they start the next season over. Because Toyohisa doesn't have a blade.
Wonder if he'll get the dwarves to reforge it.
I want that detail pointed out to me. I don't want it just glossed over.
right. Yeah, because it would be really serious, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably like a family heirloom or something.
a samurai's blade,
The sword is his soul.
a swordsman's blade, is really precious.
Anyway,
Anyway.
yeah. So we're definitely looking forward to next season. Hopefully that comes out sooner rather than later.
I don't want to wait 2 years.
I know.
But
right? I don't want to wait XD years.
that about does it for this season of this series. On Anime Reaction, as always, I'm Risen.
I'm Zero.
I'm DK. See you next time.
But let us know what you thought of the anime, what you thought of our reaction in the comment section below.
Yep, thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't.
But that's going to do it for this season. This series on Anime Reaction. As always, I'm DK.
I'm Zero.
And I'm Rizzo.
See you next time.
And go ahead and click on my face to go to our most recent Otaku Saga talk.
Click on my face to go to Otaku Saga Gaming, our gaming channel.
And click on the waifu to subscribe to Otaku Saga and check out our new and improved Patreon page.